Hi everyone, I'm the plant propagator and welcome to my channel. Well, I am so happy to be here in Southwest Florida. It is so easy to grow orchids here outside. I just can't believe it. It's actually not fair. I was away for a few weeks and now I'm back. And I just got back late last night and I'm just looking at my orchids and I go through and it's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And just about a minute ago when I was setting up to record right here, I looked down and I said, oh shit, because I've got a first bloom on an orchid that's mounted on this tree that's about at knee level. So what I wanted to do today is just kind of, and I haven't even had a chance to clean up here. So I just want to, before I clean up, before I do anything, I've got to fertilize, water, clean up. I've got to do a lot of things. But before I do that, I just want to take a general look, overview at everything, because there's so much stuff going on. I don't even want to focus in on really any of my orchids or many of my orchids because there's so much stuff going on. I'll highlight a few in the upcoming videos as we go. But today I just want to do kind of an overview, a look through, and just to show you how these things were just sitting here on their own. You know, I watered them and fertilized them and sprayed them a few weeks ago. But if you understand a few basics about orchid care and how to water them and how to treat them and where they go in this environment, it really is easy. And like I said, it's not fair that the orchids grow like this, just outside in this location. All right, it is late September, very late September. By the time I release this, will probably be early October. And it's 86 degrees still in the morning here in Southwest Florida, which is about 30 degrees Celsius. So it's a warm day. It is, and I'm not used to this because where I was traveling, but there's so much stuff going on. And what's going to happen today, like the orchid that is blooming at knee level here, I think we're going to find a lot of new stuff. And I may be surprised as we look through things because I haven't had a chance to look at things carefully yet. Things are tucked away. We're not going to be able to see things that good. I've got things falling down on me here that I've got the leaves on this palm tree are going to fall, and I've got to get them out of the way because they're going to smash my orchids. But again, what I want to do is get behind the camera and we'll just take a really quick look at what's here and what's blooming. And there may be a little stumbling because I really don't know what to expect depending on where I am. I've seen some things, but I don't know everything. Okay, so let me get behind the camera and just kind of show you how things look. Okay, let's get started right here. So this is a Dendrobium Judy roots, and this has been blooming for a while. This is one of my known orchids, and it's been blooming. And I saw when I came back, there's another bloom spike that's coming out on the same plant. Everything is kind of jumbled in on my shelf here with these Dendrobiums. There's this one, I think I've shown you this in the past. This is another Dendrobium, probably a progeny of Wu Lang. Here's another Wu Lang progeny right here that's blooming, and this is a first bloom right here on yet another progeny of Wu Lang. So these things, I mean, they're just blooming on their own and they're doing well. I just want to show you this. This, you can't see, it's hard to see, but this den right here, when I got back, it was on the ground in and out of the pot, but I put it back up here. It's doing okay, along with this orchid, and this is Mini Purple Queen. This was also on the ground, and it's just, it needs to be repotted. So this was on the ground, it fell off the shelves. I guess what happens is on these shelves, unless things are wired down and secure, I think I have mostly probably squirrels that climb up on here and knock stuff over. So anyway, these are some of the plant. Everything looks okay. I do need to essentially clean everything up. This is, you know, this right here is getting, this wasn't here before, so this cane has grown pretty long, and it kind of, I'm going to have to move it out of the way. It prevents me from getting access to all the orchids that I have back here. But these guys are all doing okay. The orchid that you saw me with, I mentioned the Wu Lang progeny. This is, again, another Wu Lang here that's coming off of a plant back here. So that's the pot that plant is right in, and as we follow it out, the flowers are kind of hanging over the fence here. But again, this is one of my favorites, but it's huge. And what's holding up this cane right here is that the flowers are resting. I think take a look at it. The flowers are resting. Look how long. Well, everything's long. There's lots of blooms coming out on this, but the flowers are, you know, they're over the fence in the neighbor's yard. And it looks like there's 3 spikes coming out of this plant. As we move down then and look at some of the other orchids, I don't know if there's anything noteworthy here that I'm looking at. It all looks good, but you can see what's going on is I get dead leaves and things that fall down in my seedlings and my pots, and I've got to kind of clean everything up and take care of them. Everything looks okay. You know, new growth coming out of the back of this plant. You know, it's all good. There's a new bloom coming out. We'll get a little better angle on that. This Magarelin, one of my Vandas. I did not even know that there was a bloom spike coming out on this. I don't think. Well, I didn't remember. But this thing, it just finished blooming. That's a spent bloom spike right there, and then it put out another one. So these guys that get to the point where they get big and they just start they just keep on blooming. I got a Vanda here that hasn't even bloomed for me yet, so I'm waiting for that. But going down here is, this is Odom's Grand Delight, and these were blooming. These just opened maybe about a month ago, but there's a new bloom, and let me get a better angle on it because it is such a nice bloom. So this is Odom's Grand Delight right here. Just one of my favorites, single bloom. There was another bloom on it, and I think it blasted. It fell off. So anyway. Moving on just a little bit. This is yet another first bloom coming out on this plant. And I don't even know. Yeah, okay, there's the tag. Let's take a look and see what this is. Oh, the tag's cracking. But let's take a look at this, and I'll try not to break the tag anymore. I think this one is unregistered right now, so I'm going to, as soon as this blooms, I'll collect an image and send it to Bob Fuchs at RF Orchids, and I don't know if he's going to register it or not. Anyway, let's take a closer look at. No, this isn't. What is this? I don't know if this is. I'm gonna have to see what this is. Oh, this is Cattleya facilis. I said Magarelin, I misspoke. So that's Cattleya facilis with a new bloom. I've got a capsule right there, and if you look at the capsule real close, you can see at the base of the capsule, it's starting to split. So I need to harvest that and get those seeds flashed from that plant. There is, as we move back, here is another bloom coming out, yet another bloom coming out on clear stars. This thing blooms all the time. I do want to show you this that I saw the other day, because it's not something I'm proud of, but this thing has bloomed. This is, let me get the name of this. This is Kyla Kobayashi. This has bloomed for me about 2 or 3 times, and I've never seen peak bloom. I always see it coming, and I always see it after peak bloom. It's a nice flower, but it seems like, I guess it opens during hurricane season, and I'm not here for hurricane season, so I don't see it very much. Okay, moving on. I don't know if there's anything else here to take a look at it. This is my Cattleya ludemaniana propagator right here, and it seems to be doing really well. It's getting, even after just a short time, I think it's getting some nice new root growth there. Okay, and I've got to clean this up right here, but you can see the new pseudobulbs coming out of this plant. And I made a cross on this, and it didn't work. So this is Toshi Aoki right here. I made a cross. I just pulled the tag off of it. Again, I haven't been here to see what's going on, but here, I guess this was the flower right here that I crossed. And it looks like the capsule did form, but then it prematurely split. So it wasn't meant to be, so that's okay. All right, moving along here, not much here. Oh, there. And when I say that, I always stumble across it. This is a first bloom, and I don't really have a good angle on this, and we'll have to go over on another side of the tree that I'm in, the chair that I'm standing in front of, to get a name on this. So we'll come back to that in just a minute. Okay, moving on. This is the tree that I was standing in front of before, and this is Wu Lang that is just loaded. The blooms are just loaded on this plant. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spikes coming out on this one plant. Pretty close to peak bloom. There is fragrance associated with that. So this plant's doing well. And just while I'm here and far up in the tree, we'll go a little further up. And this is, actually, I think you can probably see this plant. This is one of my Myrmecophilas that I mounted in the tree a short time ago. And I don't know if you can tell how the roots are just grabbing on to this tree. So I was pretty happy to see this. And again, this, if you do it just right, put them in the right place, they know how to do it. They know how to grow, and they'll do well. Okay, moving back here, what I wanted to show you, and I'm gonna have to get the name for this. Oh, this is it's my first bloom on an Arides Laurentia. And the first bloom is right here. So this hasn't bloomed for me before. It was in spike before I left, but and this is what it's supposed to look like. So nice blooms, but I forgot about it, and I didn't know it was blooming, but doing really well. Okay, let's go over here where I can see. This is the flower that I showed you before, right here, and that's my first bloom on a Wyanai starburst right here. So first bloom, 2 blooms, pretty nice, small plant, and it seems to be doing really well. Okay, moving on. I don't know if there's anything here that's noteworthy. Take a look at. Here is my plant of Kenneth Bivens, and I think I made a cross on this that didn't work because there's no capsule forming there, and these are another bloom spike that has come out. So this is, again, Kenneth Bivens. Seems to be doing really well in this location. You know, it seems kind of dry. When I left, I turned my irrigation to only water 1 day a week instead of 2 or 3 days, and I think I might turn it back to the optimum watering for me. Okay, moving on. I wanted to show you this. These are, look at all those, and this is what happens when the capsules ripen. And I don't know whether there's any viable seeds. Some of these capsules like that one right there has split, but a lot of these are turning yellow, but that's okay for what I'm doing. So I'm going to harvest probably the majority of these and see if I've got any viable seed in any of these Encyclia tampensis. The only ones that are still bright green are these two right here that are Encyclia tampensis alba. But those were crossed a lot later. I do have, speaking of crosses and seed capsules, I have, there's a capsule there that was on a plant. It was getting pretty mature, and that capsule has browned. I don't know if you can tell through the tea bag that I put them in, but it looks like it split and spilled into the bag. So I'm gonna have to flask the seed that's in that bag right there. Okay, moving on. I don't know if there's much more that we can see here. I've got a dark star Darth Vader right here at the tail end of the blooming, and I don't think there's much else to see. My seedlings that are all in those baskets are doing pretty well. And I do want to show you the Certipodium punctatum. This is a Florida native that's growing at the base of my palm tree, and those are also doing really well. And these are starting to get a little senescence, they're deciduous in nature, so they'll lose all their leaves, and it's starting to get to the point with those. Let's see, anything else here? I'm waiting for that. Seems like it's big enough to bloom, but I'm waiting, along with this one. Oh, look at, is that a, oh my gosh, okay. Discovery, there's a bloom spike down in there. That's going to be the first bloom on that, which is Vanda Amina Ash times. It might also be, this RF Orchids tends to do that. That might also be an unregistered cross. Okay, so there we discovered. It's the first bloom coming out on that. My Vanda Salina, it has all of these old spikes, and because of how this plant grows, I assume there's more coming on this. It's doing really well. I do want to show you an Odom's Grandolite division right here, and I looked and I got a new pseudobulb growing out of the base of this plant, so it is going to, it's got a new root coming out of it, so I'm going to be able to pot this up pretty soon. Again, took a quick look at my seedlings. Everything here is doing well. All right, let's move on a little bit. I do want to show you some of the things. Well, first of all, you can see all of my Catasetums are, they're starting to lose their leaves, which is the time of the year that they do that. So I think this is a Fred Clark After Dark. It did not bloom for me this year, and it's not going to, I don't think. But it looks okay. It's got some new big canes on it, but it is and it's doing well. But the leaves are senescing. Okay, over here we have, this is Miyaka Stars right here, and I saw these blooms coming out a while ago, but now they are out. So, and they're fragrant at night. I use this plant for a lot of crosses, and I'll continue to use them because it's just a really nice plant. Okay, this is right here. I've got this thing is like, seems to be blooming all the time. And I can't, Baranapan Nicom, I think is the name of this plant, but it's got two blooms on it, and it's doing really, it's hard to get to. Seems to be doing really well. Another one hard to get to is this plant that is falling out of its pot, that is just loaded with blooms. This has 3 or 4 bloom spikes, and this is Siam Fancy. I think that's the name of this hybrid here. As I back out of this a little bit, what I want to show you, because it's kind of fun, and these always do this. So this is Catasetum, and I think it's Graham, Having a hard time getting focus. The flowers, these are female flowers of, I think it's Graham Wood is this cultivar. And the thing is, the hood that right now I'm showing on the bottom on the flower that's in the middle actually should be on it's the hood. It should be on the top. So these are female flowers. This flower right here, I'm going to see if I can get it right now in the right orientation. So that flower, the smaller one that's underneath, that's the right way. So, and I might try to cross this. This has bloomed for me many, many years. I made a division of this plant, and the division is, I think, doing much better than this plant that it came from. Okay, so moving on a little bit more. There was a few more that I wanted to show you. And it's hard to get to. So this is a plant that I can't remember. Oh, but here, look, there's another bloom from this plant. And look at the pot. It's just fallen. That's the pot right there. It's fallen out of the pot, or the pot's falling over because it's so side heavy. So anyway, that's again, Siam Fancy right there. Okay, so moving on, and this is Gretchen Garrick. Right here, it's way up in the top of my pergola, kind of hard to get to. I do want to show you down here. Not sure if we'll be able to see it. All right, it's focusing for me. This is Ukulele Baby, and that one is looking pretty good. Okay, moving on, just a little bit more. From Gretchen Garrick, we have over here, oh, can't see it. So there's new blooms coming from Volcano Pride, which didn't finish up blooming but a short time ago. So I'm happy that there's more blooms coming out on that plant. Back here, oh, this is going to be really hard to see. But right up in there, there's new blooms coming out of, I think this is, oh, geez, can't remember the name. Anyway, right there, and there's some more blooms coming out right there on that same plant. Okay, so moving on just a little bit. What else do we have here? So we take a look, I don't know if you can see it right there, another bloom spike coming out on that plant right there. Moving on, all right, so let's go over here. There is, oh, you can't see it, and I'm not gonna be able to get a good angle on it, but there is, right, that's not a good view at all. That's Mari's Glory right there. It's not a good view because I had the zoom set up too high. So Mari's Glory again, right here, hard to get to. Everything's kind of buried in there. Okay, this is Cattleya Magarelin right here. That's a pretty old bloom. I think that was open many weeks ago. But coming over here, and we're at the end of things. There is, I just got to show you this because this is, this is a pretty common plant. So this is yellowbird. And yellowbird seems to be loving it here as much as I love it here. So yellowbird's got blooms there, more blooms there, more blooms there, moving around, more blooms there, and then finally in the back. So I think there's probably 5 bloom spikes. In addition to the 5 bloom spikes that are open, there is, if you can see the bloom, there's another one there, and then a final one right back here. So this is going to have probably 7 or 8 bloom spikes open on a plant that's not that big right here. And I'm sorry you can't see things because I got some other stuff in the way. It's being blocked. The final plant, and we're going to take a look at the back of the flower. But this is, now, okay, let me turn this plant around. I am probably just going to highlight this plant because I think it's just so special. So this is an unregistered hybrid that I'm pretty excited about, that I got from Palmer Orchids about 3 years ago. And this is the first bloom on this plant, and those are two different flower spikes. So a really, really interesting flower there. Oh, final thing, I just saw this. All right, two blooms coming out on this plant, which is Lily Genovese. Okay, so not sure what else is going on here. I don't know if we're gonna see anything. If we take another kind of final look at everything in my pergola, let's end up, because we didn't get a really good look at it before. This is, like I said, this is Ukulele Baby. I've tried using this for crosses unsuccessfully. It's a really nice, pretty little flower on this, this plant. There is, oh yeah, there's even another bloom spike coming out from the top here on a little tiny plant that seems to be doing really well. Okay, oh geez, look at, I just saw this. Okay, this is a nice, I love this flower. This is Siam City, and this will be open in a couple of weeks, I think. No, this will be open in a week, I think. All right, I think that's it. I've got to take a closer look at everything here. Tag hanging, I wonder if no, it doesn't look like that was successful. Nope, that's too bad. Okay, so that was chocoberry fondue that flowered, that I tried making crosses, it didn't work. This is, there's a cross where that tag is right there. We're looking right into the sun. So, but that was a successful pollination on Violaceae. So anyway, I don't know what else I'm going to find here, but everything's growing well. I still haven't, again, I haven't been over these things really well. We kind of are discovering things for the first time as we go through this right now. We'll finish up with, again, with Catasetum Graham Wood. Nice female flowers, and unfortunately I don't have anything to cross onto this. I don't even have any pollinia from any of my male flowers. But anyway, that's all I have for you today, just a quick look through. We'll focus in on some of these blooms in the next few videos. I'll highlight some of them because I think really some of them are pretty special. All right, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did and you want to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you can click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, that's all I have for you today. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.